if you're just joining us, you know that we've been talking, and I've had the privilege of talking to the speakers and the educators that are coming to ABC in November. And I wanted this to be not just a way for them to share why they love ABC and why they love the conference, but for you to hear a little bit about why they chose their topic and the why behind them. So much in this industry, wedding and events, we focus so much on pleasing everybody. We're people pleasers. And we often are all following this different path, or we're following the path that we see on Instagram, and we're trying to be what everybody else is trying to be. And you have to be yourself, right? You have to find that path. And we all work on timelines, but we all have our own timeline for success, however we define it, and sometimes going left and right. So as you've got to hear the speakers and you've heard the reason behind their topic, you've also heard their passion. So right now joining me is the undeniable, I can't believe they got her to say yes, but I should be able to say she said yes because she knows the importance. McKenna is the keynote speaker, and you are going to be blown away. Hopefully you are following her. Kathy has done an amazing job, as I mentioned, getting you available to the speakers. So you should be DMing her. You should be reaching out and saying hello. But if you're following her, and we have never met in person, so this is great for me. I cannot wait to meet her in person. You're going to be blown away because she's going to ignite you. She's going to challenge you. She's going to tell you that it's okay to step outside of yourself to get to be your best version. So welcome to the conversation, McKenna. I'm so glad that you're here. And I'm going to put you on the hot seat right off the bat. You know, being a keynote comes some responsibility. Why was saying yes to ABC to be the keynote important to you for right now with what's going on in November of 2024?
Can I just tell you, I have goosebumps. Like, the energy that you bring is exactly why I said yes. You know, of why I want to be a part of, you know, ABC World of Weddings is because of, I know it's not just going to be you, but every single person that's going to be in that room is going to bring a different energy. And it is such an honor to be here and an honor to be one of the keynotes, and, you know, to be able to be a part of an event that is so critical. You know, during this time, it is so competitive. We are ready to do anything and everything together. And that is why you are all so important to our lives. And to be able to be there and empower you and inspire you and to learn from you as well, because it doesn't matter what industry you're in, we're constantly needing to learn from one another. So it is such an honor, and I'm so excited to be here.
And when people come with an open mind and an open heart and an open notebook, I sometimes, as I am from stage, and I'm sure you do too, I see everybody either taking pictures of my slides. One of the things I love about a keynote is I don't have to do a lot of slides. But I see people, and last year in Puerto Rico, I watched everybody at ABC, notebooks, laptops. They were all so busy taking notes. And then I'm like you, are you going to go home and put that into action? Because the mindset is one of the greatest tools and confidence that we have in our toolbox. And yet we listen to people like you and I and all the other speakers joining us for ABC, but we don't go home and implement. So talk a little bit about your talk and what you hope to drive home with your talk without giving too much secrets away, but igniting that transformation and really helping those in the industry understand that being different is what sets them apart.
Absolutely. You know, I was a teacher for 18 years, and it's all about taking action. We can spend, you know, ample amount of time in professional development, going to annual meetings, but it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And I am a firm believer that when you are thoroughly engaged, you are going to allow yourself to open up, to meet those new people, to hear the new ideas and the different ways people are doing it. Because again, everyone brings something different to the table. And that's what we have to understand, is that we are all sitting at an incredible round table, that everyone has their strengths that brings, but we also have our weaknesses.
Right.
And so we have to have that self-awareness to understand our weaknesses. And so we have to align ourselves with the people that have our weaknesses as their strengths and vice versa. And that's how we help each other. That's how we get out of our own way. And that's how we grow and pour into others. And so my goal is to ignite transformation in your mindset, to understand that you're not alone. You know, we live in a society that is so driven by social media that we are constantly comparing. But when we stop comparing and be inspired by one another and help one another, that is when the true impact really happens.
And every single wedding professional that I know, an event professional, one of their goals always is, and as I travel across the country in 42 years in this industry, I can tell you they're like, oh my God, I just got to get that 5-star review. I just have to get that 5-star review. And I sit back and I have started asking them, what did you learn from that 5-star review? Mm-hmm. You wanted it so badly. What did you learn from it? Well, you learned that you knew how to do what you did. Mm-hmm. You learned that you were the one that was capable of doing what you did. But what would happen if you got a 1-star review? Touch on that, McKenna, a little bit about what if somebody did say to you, you know what? I hired her, but she wasn't all that fabo. So I'll give you 1 star.
I'm going to guarantee you that we've all had that 1 star somehow, some way in our life many times. And if you haven't, you need to, because we all have to lose to win. I am a firm believer, and you have to lose to win. You have to fall to know that you can and will get back up. And that's the thing, is that we are still here fighting every single day. And we have to be able to get the 1 star to the 5 star, but you have to also ask your why. Why are you after the 5 star? Why are you in this industry? Why did you start in the get-go? And why are you still here now? What is the impact that you want to have? Are you in it for just the 5-star reviews? Are you in it to create an incredible experience and a priceless memories that is going to live a lifetime? And so we have to consistently and constantly reflect on our own values and our own vision, and what is our ultimate impact that we want to have. And as we grow, not age, as we're growing, we need to constantly reflect, regardless if you've been in the industry for 42 years or you're a novice and everything in between. We have to have that self-awareness to continuously reflect, to make sure that we're aligning, because when we're out of alignment, then we look at that 1-star review as, oh my gosh, you know, the world is ending, and why aren't I giving that 5-star review? We have to get into alignment. We have to become more consistent with not only our behaviors, but our mindset.
And transformation happens when you start giving yourself permission to start over, to go left if you thought you were going right, to make the adjustments in your career. I am all about profit. And in a creative entrepreneur and a creative energy, there is an industry, there is profit to be made. So what you're doing as a career, and if you're doing what you love, should bring you profit, purpose, and joy, right? You can have all 3 things. Mm-hmm. So transformation happens when you want to have that purpose and the impact. I want you to explain a little bit from somebody who's looking into the industry. You don't plan weddings every weekend. You're not showing up with a camera in your hand every weekend. You're not bringing the florals. Why is it important to have a purpose? You touched on it briefly by chasing, because I think you and I both believe don't chase the profit, chase the reason behind it, right? Mm-hmm. Why is it so important that everyone that sits at the conference today leaves, and I want them to be able to write in their notebook when they listen to you or another speaker, this is my purpose and this is my impact. Explain why that is important, especially in the creative industry of wedding and events.
Because it bleeds into your actions. It bleeds into your clients, into the events, and people are going to have an experience that is on such a different level than they would have with someone who's in it for just one reason. When you are a well-rounded person, that it doesn't matter if I am planning a wedding, if I'm at my kid's softball game, or I'm at the line of the grocery store, I am who I am all the time. And having that purpose and having that consistency, that I am driven by giving to others, but also remembering to pour into myself. And that is why attending incredible events like this allows us to pour into ourselves. So then we can go back, take what we have not only learned, but how we have transformed in just 2 days and just 3 days, to be able to take that and make our vision a reality.
And sitting in a room full of people who have struggled, because like you, I believe, you got to skin your knees, right? Mm-hmm. Without failure, can't be success. And I want everybody to hear, I've been saying with every speaker that I've interviewed, the speakers are not here to do the work for you, nor is that table mate you're sitting at, nor is the chapter president of ABC. We're here to offer, here's the escalator, here's the elevator. Don't forget to get off on floor 2 or 3 because there's lessons to be learned. So let's talk a little bit about adversity and helping adversity in your personal life help you grow, or dare I say, marry together your professional life. And along the way, whether you've been in business for 1 day, 1 month, or 40 years, you're going to have adversity in your personal life versus professional life. How do you stay motivated doing that, McKenna?
That is such a deep question that I could go on for very long, which I will a lot in my keynote, but life's going to happen. Life happens. And we've all been given this beautiful mountain. Everyone has their own mountain. And what we have to understand is that some days we are just having a beautiful hike in the park, where other days we're barely hanging on by the ledge. But when you realize that there's no other choice but to keep going, and when you understand that life is happening for you and not to you, and that everyone has a story, everyone's going through something. I just have this incredible responsibility that wherever I go, my story is visible. And this is where, when your stories, your challenges, when adversity happens, when I did have hair, I would hide it all the time. But when we share it and humanize ourselves, it allows us to be able to grow. And it allows us to understand that we're all in this together. And that is the important part. And I want to really challenge people to do is make sure you get to the sessions early, be in front row, sit next to different people. When I go to conferences, I'm not just I'm there for the keynote. I'm going to show up. I'm going to do my thing on stage and then I leave. No, I immerse myself in the experience. I want to be there. I'm going to be mingling. I'm going to be talking because I know that I'm going to grow substantially, just personally and professionally, by being around all of these incredible attendees. And then afterwards, I'm still going to be staying around because I have a purpose. And that's to grow and to meet people. And that needs to be the same for everyone else.
And as speakers, I'll say this loud and proud and clearly. Do you know how much we learn from all of you? Do you know how you motivate us? Do you know how you inspire us? Because when you're brave enough to walk up to us and ask a question, we may not know the answer. We may not have been in your same shoes, but by jiggy, I promise you, we can give you grace. We can give you support. We can cheer you on. And then it helps us look into ourselves because every day I always encourage everybody to be 1% better than you were yesterday because you're your own competition. And this industry, as you know, McKenna, it's cutthroat. It is highly competitive. There's no entry level to come in. You can just say you're a wedding planner today and go off tomorrow and do something disastrous. But by the other token, you can have a career here of the privilege of, for 1 day, bringing everybody together, and the privilege of bringing everybody together as a guest, bringing everybody together as the wedding team that you're building. We don't know what those guests are going through. They might be getting foreclosed on Monday. They might be losing their job on Monday. They may be going through a cancer struggle. On that 1 day, they have come to celebrate life. And we have the privilege of mostly celebrating happy, bringing extraordinary events together. So on that day that you get to do that, never be remiss by the privilege that you have to do that, but showing up authentic and showing up yourself, not what somebody else is doing. That's your secret sauce. Share a little bit, if you can, about the importance of believing in yourself so that others believe in you. And especially without giving all your keynote away, but why maybe closing that book, dare I say, during your keynote and letting it come in. The power in just listening and believing in yourself, and that you're going to allow and give that lesson to everybody.
I talk about, and I was just having this conversation earlier with someone, go all in. And it's just exactly what you talked about, just be 1% better. But what we have to understand is that our definition of all in is going to be different every single day. Yep. When I was going through my journey, which I will share with more, just getting out of bed, that was my all in. And we have to be able to give ourselves that grace, that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay for that 1-star review, but it's how we get back up. It's how we react. And it's our attitude of what we take in. I'm going to be walking into this conference knowing you now, but knowing no one, right? I know no one, but it's how I walk in with the confidence that regardless of how long I've been in the industry, I believe in my purpose and I believe in myself more than anyone can ever believe in me. And that confidence brings the energy to the room. It brings the energy to the meetings. It brings energy to the one-on-one connection, to the event, to the wedding, to the people that just get to step back and say, you know what, I'm going to push aside all of it that's going on right now. And I get to just go have fun. I get to go celebrate. And I know I'm going to be coming back to something, but that opportunity of attending that event could reframe their mindset, could reframe their life challenge. And that's the ultimate goal for me, is that I want to empower others to reframe life challenges into incredible gifts and opportunities. And that's what wedding planners and event planners get to do. They get to take this challenge and they get to reframe it for whoever they're interacting with and allow them to see it's an incredible opportunity, because things are going to happen. Things are going to happen 5 minutes before the bride walks down the aisle, but you have to be able to reframe that mindset, see the silver lining, and continue on. And that's why I'm so excited to be a part of this event.
And trusting in yourself, because if you don't trust in yourself or invest in yourself, others won't. That's my segue to say to you, you know, you have to write a check to come to ABC. We hope that you're a member, but if you're not, you can still come to this conference. So when you write that check, I want you to understand that writing that check is believing in yourself. It's giving you the applause. When you turn it in, when you put that credit card, however you pay for it, that immediately is, look what I've just done. I believe in myself to get ready for. I want you to come with an open mind. McKenna and I want you, as two of the people that do more keynoting in and outside the industry, come with an open heart, come with an open mind, and know that you're coming in with your purpose. Here's 5 things I need to work on. Here's 3 people I want to meet. Come with an itinerary, because I know you're all planners and you can't just show up. You're going to show up with a plan. So show up with a plan. But then I promise you that the ROI that you get may not be financially tomorrow or a month now, but when that client calls you and you're able to answer a question, or you have made a connection that you can connect somebody with, or you have realized, I just struggle with this and I heard Susan from North Carolina had this problem, I'm going to reach out. The connection that you make when you put that payment in is the start of a road down whatever you want to define success as. So I don't know if you know, McKenna, but there is a speaker room this year that Erin and her team have built up. So we'll have a spot that people can come and chat with us after and before. You know, McKenna's going to be here the whole time. She doesn't fly in and leave. Her and I share that same principle. I'm here to learn. I'm here to give. I'm here to help. I'm here to receive whatever you have. So I want you to go right now, as you're listening to this, and go ahead and DM McKenna. Ask that question that you may not want to ask out loud. Go ahead and ask that question or DM. Kathy has done an amazing job setting this up. Get to build that connection with McKenna right now. Share a story that you may not want to share, but I promise you, she'll tell you as well. When you share your story, that's just empowerment for somebody else to believe that they have a story to share too. So share and ask those questions. And then do not be afraid to walk up to her when you see her walking in the room. What are we going to do? We're going to make her feel welcome. She's newer to the industry. She may not know anybody. I'm going to be one of the first people I see her. But by the same token, McKenna, as we wrap up, share a little bit about being that person that sees that person coming in the room for the first time, and how you can be such an elevator and such a welcome sign by taking the initiative to walk over and say, hi, I am glad you're here.
You know, there's always 2 choices in life. And I challenge my students to do the same thing. When you're walking down a hallway and you see someone you don't know, you can either pick up your phone and pretend like you're texting, or you can look them in the eyes and say, hi, how are you? And my daughters always ask me, why are you saying hi to so many people? Because you never know what that hi will do for someone else. You never know what that connection, it could just made their day, or it could have created a beautiful friendship for the rest of your life. It is the importance of allowing and accepting people in, and knowing that you're coming up to say hi to me gives me more confidence as well, knowing that I am meant to be here. And if you're going to be like me and no one else is, you don't know anyone else either, then I'm going to challenge you to go say hi to people. Go sit at a table, have a drink with someone, say hi, sit next to new people. You have to get out of your comfort zone, because what's the worst that can happen? Someone says, oh, hey, I'm really busy in this conversation. Okay, well, maybe some other time. But
Right.
it's making that investment and believing in yourself. And making that investment is one of the scariest things because it's in yourself. But you would have no problem making that investment for other people. But when you do it for yourself, it is believing in yourself. And it's truly transformative.
And you're asking clients to write you a check, regardless of the amount, to do the job that they need you to do the job that they believe that you can do. So when you write a check to invest in yourself, yes, you could buy a new suit jacket. You could go spend, gosh, now with the market, you could go spend $300 to go to a movie for three of you. And I'm not saying don't do that. We believe there's plenty of belief for self-worth and taking time for yourself. But for the purpose of the point is, take the money and put it back in your business. And then you're going to leave. And McKenna, how many times have you waited? Because I think you're a lot like me. Hi, how are you today? I actually wait. And the number of people that stop and go, oh, you want an answer? Yes, I ask you a question. It's shocking that the number of people just keep walking because in this world, we are so busy and engulfed. And so I'm always just friendly and open, and I welcome everybody. And I can promise you that as I work into my role and doing more with ABC, they have been over and welcoming, and they have been open arms, and they've given me the opportunity to listen to some ideas, like bringing this to the listeners and to the members. And when you show up for ABC, you're going to feel as a family. There are different states, there's different chapters. You've heard from some of the leaders in these interviews. Now you've heard from the keynote. Show up. Be willing to be that person on the other end of that smile. Be willing to come with an open mind. Give us three things, because you're a conference person. Give us three things that, regardless of what conference it is, how can attendees best be prepared and best show up? We've talked about it a little bit, but from you and your experience, give us three strong to wrap up the session.
One, remember your why. Why are you here? This is for you and no one else. Take advantage of this time that you are taking away from your family, away from your business, and be enthralled with every moment of that experience. Two, look at notebook and pen. I am a firm believer that if you write in pen instead of typing, it is going to be registered and put into such a deeper level of processing that it is going to be ingrained in you much more than you could ever imagine. Okay. So
Right.
That's two things right there. And the biggest thing is be you. Don't be anyone else. Show up as you, show up what makes you comfortable, have those conversations. But the most important and special person in your life is you, and take care of you.
I love that. Friends, if you are not excited to meet McKenna, if you're not excited to sit in that seat, notebook in hand, or even closed notebook, and soak in her message, I promise you, one of the better keynotes that we have had for a long time, and I go on record saying that, this is somebody who's going to move your butt in that seat, that is going to move you to take action. And I love the fact that it's somebody that you don't follow a lot on Instagram, and you don't follow a lot on the wedding pages. Now you follow her, but you're not following her to get wedding advice. You're not following her to look for detail. You're going to follow her for the motivation that she's going to bring you to become the best version of yourself. So get your tickets. McKenna and I cannot wait to see you and cheer you on in St. Louis. Be there. Don't be left out. You're going to have FOMO. I promise you, you'll have FOMO. So all the amazing things that they do. And if you're a member, reach out. We're going to challenge you. McKenna and I are going to challenge you. Reach out to those in your market that may not be an ABC member and say, hey, I'm going on this day. I'm flying on this town. Get your ticket and let's do something together. Bring somebody along that you can help elevate. Friends, you are meant for this. You know that you're talented. You just often forget. Those five stars review remind you that you are worthy and meant to be in this industry. Come listen to McKenna, and she's going to remind you why you're meant to be living a life of purpose. All right, McKenna, thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to see you in November.
So excited. Thank you so much. Hope to see you all there.